Three chocolate founders turned legal pressure from Hershey into a music video, documented burnout, stress, and founder breakdowns, and made their startup drama the product. June 2021. Midday Squares gets a cease-and-desist letter from Hershey demanding they change their orange peanut butter chocolate packaging because it looks too much like Reese's. 2 months earlier, Hershey had offered more than $10 million to buy the company. The founders said no. Now Hershey's lawyers are telling them to stop using the color orange. Instead of quietly changing the wrapper, Jake Karls, his sister Lezlie, and her husband Nick decide to shoot a music video called Chocolate Gone Crazy, release it publicly, and turn the legal pressure into content. The video goes viral. Customers rally. The brand gets more attention in 1 week than it got in the previous year. But here's the tension. If you make founder chaos your marketing engine, you can't turn it off when the chaos gets real. You have to keep documenting the breakdowns, the burnout, and the internal fights, or the audience stops believing you. Midday Squares committed to that deal, and it changed everything about how they sold chocolate. Most e-commerce brands hide the mess behind the product. Midday Squares made the mess the reason people cared. By the end of this story, you'll see exactly how they turned legal pressure, founder conflict, group therapy sessions, and ridiculous publicity stunts into $30 million in revenue, 9,000 retail doors, and a Costco sales record. And you'll understand the one rule that makes founder-led chaos work without burning out or faking drama for views. Midday Squares started in 2018. Lezlie Karls Saltarelli created the first square, a plant-based, functional chocolate bar called Fudge Ya, in her kitchen after getting into plant-based eating in 2015. She married Nick Saltarelli in 2017, and they decided to build a food brand together. But Lezlie and Nick both considered themselves introverted. They knew how to make product. They did not know how to build hype. So they brought in Leslie's brother Jake Karls. Jake's job was not operations or product development. His job was to build a fan base and create brand evangelists. Jake described the strategy as becoming like a rock band that sells chocolate. The first hire the company made was a videographer. That decision tells you everything about the business model. By 2022, TechCrunch reported the company had hit $8 million in revenue the previous year, landed in more than 2,400 stores including Whole Foods and Sprouts, and raised $17 million total with a $35 million valuation. Here's the problem with that strategy. If you're a rock band, people expect a show. They expect drama, conflict, vulnerability, and evolution. If you promise to document the good, the bad, and the ugly of entrepreneurship, you can't just post behind-the-scenes packing videos and call it transparency. You have to actually show the ugly. And in 2021, Midday Squares got the perfect ugly moment handed to them by Hershey's legal team. But the music video response was not the beginning of the strategy. It was proof the strategy had already been working. So why did Hershey go from offering to buy the company to sending a legal letter 2 months later? And why did Midday Squares think turning that pressure into a public music video was a better move than quietly settling? The answer explains the entire content strategy. Hershey approached Midday Squares in March 2021 with an acquisition offer. TechCrunch reported the offer was multi-million dollars. Le Journal de Québec reported it was more than $10 million. The founders decided the deal was not for them. Then in June, Hershey sent a cease-and-desist letter. The letter said Midday Squares' orange packaging for their peanut butter chocolate square violated Hershey's trade dress rights for Reese's. Hershey claimed the distinctive orange color belonged to them. Midday Squares had two options. Option 1, change the packaging, stay quiet, and move on. Option 2, make the conflict public, frame it as David versus Goliath, and use the attention to grow the brand. They chose option 2. Jake, Lezlie, and Nick shot Chocolate Gone Crazy, a music video where they sang about the legal pressure, danced in chocolate-covered outfits, and made Hershey the villain of the story. They posted it everywhere. The video went viral. Customers flooded social media defending Midday Squares. The brand got press coverage in TechCrunch, Forbes, and food industry outlets. The cease and desist became the best marketing event of the year. But here's what most people miss. The music video only worked because the founders had already been documenting everything else. They had already built an audience that believed the chaos was real. Jake had been posting about the stress of fundraising, the fear of retail rejections, and the emotional cost of scaling. Lezlie and Nick had been showing up on camera, talking about the pressure of being a married couple running a startup with a family member. The audience already knew these people. They already cared. So when Hershey sent the letter, it did not feel like a publicity stunt. It felt like the next chapter of a story the audience was already invested in. That's the difference between founder-led content and founder-led chaos as marketing. Founder-led content is polished, it's motivational, it's safe. Founder-led chaos is documenting the actual problems, the actual conflicts, and the actual emotional cost of building the business. Midday Squares committed to chaos, and they kept committing. Forbes reported in 2023 that the company mandates group therapy sessions for the founding team. Jake told Modern Retail in 2024 that they talk openly about stress and burnout because consumers feel the relatability. The founders posted about hitting profitability after 5 years. They posted about the fear of losing retail accounts. They posted about the internal fights that come with being a family business. Every post, every video, and every podcast episode reinforced the same message. This brand is a reality show, and you're watching real people build a real company in real time. Food Navigator USA described the strategy as Shark Tank meets the Kardashians. Jake told them the company does not talk much about product benefits first. They focus on interrupting attention on phones and telling the good, bad, and ugly of entrepreneurship. The product becomes secondary. The story becomes the product. And that strategy delivered results. Modern Retail reported that by late 2024, Midday Squares hit $30 million in revenue, sold more than 47 million bars, and expanded to 9,000 retail doors across the US and Canada, including Whole Foods, Target, and Sprouts. The company reported 40 to 50% year-over-year growth. Jake told Modern Retail that building out loud on LinkedIn made investors curious. Retail buyers wanted to meet the founders because they already felt like they knew them. Customers became evangelists because they were emotionally invested in the success of the brand. The Costco story proved the model. When Midday Squares launched at Costco, they knew the price point was higher than typical Costco chocolate, so they used social media to ask customers to support the launch and explain why the price was justified. Modern Retail reported the stunt broke Costco's roadshow first-week sales record. That result did not come from product market fit alone. It came from a fan base that wanted the brand to win. The content mix included behind-the-scenes retailer launches, comedy sketches, motivational founder talks, and personal life updates. Jake became the primary on-camera personality, but all three founders appeared regularly. The strategy was not just about Jake, it was about the dynamic between the three of them. The sibling relationship, the married couple tension, and the pressure of building a business with family. That dynamic created natural conflict, natural vulnerability, and natural story arcs that kept the audience coming back. Modern Retail reported that the content helped attract not just customers, but investors and retail buyers who felt they already understood the brand before the first meeting. So Hershey's legal pressure was not just a threat, it was proof that the strategy worked. The founders had built an audience that cared enough to defend them, and they kept feeding that audience by documenting every new pressure point, every new milestone, and every new ugly moment. The chaos was not a bug, it was the entire business model. The music video was not the start of the strategy, it was the moment the strategy became undeniable. But here's the part that separates Midday Squares from every other founder who tries to copy this playbook. Jake told Modern Retail that the chocolate bar space is saturated, and product market fit alone was not enough. That sentence is the key. You cannot fake chaos, you cannot manufacture vulnerability, and you cannot document a reality show if there's no reality worth documenting. The product still has to work. The business still has to deliver. The lesson is this: if you cannot outspend incumbents on ads, product innovation, or retail placement, document the problems they would never show. Make the audience emotionally invested in your survival, not just your product. But only commit to this strategy if the chaos is real, if you're willing to keep showing it when it gets uncomfortable, and if your product is strong enough to convert attention into retention. Midday Squares worked because the founders were actually living the chaos. The product was actually good, and the audience could feel the difference between a scripted brand story and a real one. The music video was not a stunt. It was proof that the founders were willing to turn every crisis into content. And that commitment is what turned a chocolate bar into a $30 million reality show. The strategy is not post a video and hope it goes viral. The strategy is build a relationship with an audience by showing them the parts of your business that scare you, then give them a reason to care whether you succeed or fail. If you can do that, you do not need to outspend Hershey. You just need to outstory them. Watch one of these two videos next.